All right, so this is another odd intro because I made a mistake on the other video and I'm recording this 2 days later. Just a quick reminder that you do have notes on Google Classroom to use, and you also should watch, if you haven't already, the video on pi from the last lesson. If you don't, some of this might not make complete sense. If you have any questions, remember there's office hours from 12 to 1 today on Friday. And if you have any questions over break as you're trying to catch up on anything, please shoot me an email. I'll be able to help you out. Other thing is just remember that the Monday we get back from whatever kind of break this is, you're going to have your video meets with your homerooms. It's another great time to ask questions. And then that day I'll also be kind of reaching out if anyone needs any help. All right. Enjoy the lesson. All right. We began on Wednesday with a quick look at circles. Sorry, let me back up. It's Friday. Let's do a riddle. All right. I'm going to present my entire screen, share, and now it is sharing. All right. Here's the riddle. Beard, Charlie, Baron. Take a few seconds, pause the video, see if you can figure out what is going on here. Beard, Charlie, Baron. All right, so let's figure that out. We will move on. Okay, so on Wednesday, we reviewed 3 things. We reviewed quickly what pi was, what a radius was, and what a diameter is. Start with pi. Again, the same video is linked below, or linked to this video here to help you out. Okay, so pi equals 3.14. Pi is a ratio or a way to compare diameter and circumference. Diameter and circumference. Okay. Then we also have a radius. Radius goes from the center of a circle to the outside of a circle. Way I think about radius is it's kind of like radiation. It radiates outward, starting at one center point and goes out. So radius starts at the center, goes out to the edge of the circle. A diameter takes a circle, takes an axe to it, and chops it in half. So this here is our diameter. We have our circle. It starts at one edge of the circle, is a straight line straight through the center to the opposite side. We're left with 2 half circles, which are mirror images of each other. I think of a diameter as d for double, so double the radius. Remember that a diameter is twice the radius, or a radius is half of the diameter. All right. So today we're going to move into circumference and area. Now these are going to have formulas with them that you're going to want to write down. They're in your notes, and I'm going to be writing them on my whiteboard. But still, make sure you write these down so that way you have access to them. All right. So we're back to our parts of a circle. Okay. So circumference, down here, we've got the distance around a circle is the circumference. If you look at a circle, that's basically saying, say, starting at this point here, the circumference is the measurement of right here. So the measurement all the way around a circle from a starting point, which is also its end point. So starting here, just going all the way around the circle. The total amount of space inside a circle is the area. Nothing too complicated there. The thing that gets a little bit more challenging is when you actually have to calculate these. So we're going to stop presenting here. All right. So the formulas for a circumference, there's 2 of them. One is circumference equals the diameter of the circle times pi. Circumference equals diameter times pi. So you take whatever the distance is to cross your circle, one side to the other through the center, multiply that by pi, which is 3.14, and that gives you the circumference of a circle. And sometimes you're not given the circumference, the diameter of a circle, so instead you use the radius. So that would be circumference equals, how many radiuses are there in a diameter? Anybody? You at the back? A parent? A sibling, a dog? Anyone have an answer? A cat? No? Okay. There are 2 radiuses in a diameter. So we could always rewrite it like this. Circumference equals 2 times the radius times pi, order of operations, 2 times r first. So double your radius first, and then whatever you get there, that's equivalent to your diameter. You multiply that by pi. So it gives a couple examples right here. We're going to start with our circle, and we're going to give it a radius of 5. Okay. Radius of 5. If I want to figure out what the circumference is, I'm going to take 5 times 2 and multiply that by pi, or 3.14. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times pi is 31.4. And that's, again, whatever units I want. So if that's in centimeters, it would be 31.4 centimeters all the way around if the radius was 5. If instead I'm given the diameter, in this case would be 10, we go 10 times pi equals 31.4. Diameter is a little bit faster, but as you can see right here, these are exactly the same thing because there are 2 radiuses in each diameter. We can go 5 and 5, 2 radiuses, or just the diameter of 10. That's how you figure out the circumference. You take your radius, multiply it by 2, and multiply that answer by pi to get your circumference, or you take your diameter of your circle, multiply it by pi, and that will give you your circumference in one step. All right. The other formula we're going to work with is area. So A equals, and the formula for area is pi times your radius squared. Area only works with your radius. So we're going to start with pi times radius squared. If you remember order of operations, the first thing we always have to do is our exponent. So whatever our radius is, we're going to square it. Square it means you're going to multiply by itself. Multiply that by pi, and you're going to get whatever our area is. So for example, I have a circle with a radius of 5 inches. Right here, radius of 5 inches. Now, I'm going to plug this into my equation right here. So it's going to be area equals pi times 5 squared. 5 squared is 25, so pi times 25, and that equals 78.5 inches. Thing to be careful of is we're dealing with square units. So this is 5 inches. This here is actually 25 inches squared. And this is 78.5 inches squared. Always make sure you're careful with your units. When you're dealing with area, you're dealing with square units. All right? If, on the other hand, I've been given a diameter instead and asked to find the area, And just like this, I just have to use the relationship between a radius and a diameter. So if the diameter equals 10, radius equals 5, I go about it the exact same way. I only take the extra step of cutting my diameter in half. So with area, it is pi, or 3.14, times your radius squared. Think of it as having parentheses right there. Always do your radius squared first. All right. So let's take a quick look at some of the practice problems. Okay. So we have find the area and circumference of each circle. The circles are not to scale, which means there's no point in trying to measure them. All right. So for this first one, we have our circle, and it has a radius of 11 right here. Got a radius of 11. And I still have my formula up here. Area equals pi r squared. So I'm going to take 11 and throw it in for my r right here. So area equals pi times 11 squared. You're going to take your calculator, do 11 squared, which is 121. 11 times 11 is 121. So pi times 121. We're going to multiply that. So remember, pi is 3.14, so it's going to be 121 times 3.14 equals 379.94, or effectively 380. If you want to be more exact, you can write 121 pi, but that is a high-level idea. If you want to, you can. Basically, what I was saying is your area is 121 pi units squared. You don't have to do it that way. You can if you want to. But this right here is the numerical representation of 379.94 units squared. All right. Second one, we have a diameter of 10. Okay, so we have a diameter of 10. First thing I'm going to want to do is find my radius. So if the diameter is 10, the radius is going to be 5. So we're going to go area equals pi 5 squared, which you've already done. Let's see, so that's going to be pi times 25, and the grand total is 78.5 units squared. There you go. All right. Let's find the circumference of each of these circles. So back to number 1. We've got our circumference formulas, which are circumference equals diameter times pi, or circumference equals 2 radiuses times pi, right here. So our first circle is a radius circle. So we have a radius of 11. To find the circumference, we're going to take 11, throw it into our radius formula right here. That's going to be circumference equals 2 times 11. Oopsie. 2 times 11 times pi. 2 times 11 is 22 times pi, which is 22 times 3.14 is 69.08. All right, that's the circumference. Circumference for circle number 2. Instead of being given the radius, we're given the diameter. Again, the diameter is 10. Just throw that right up into here. Circumference equals 10 pi. I could leave it like that and just say circumference is 10 pi. That is an exact answer. Or I can go 10 times 3.14, which is 31.4, whatever my units are. All right, so that wraps up math for this week. Remember, we do have April break, so you're not going to have anything new for me for a week. If you have any questions as you're trying to catch up on work or anything like that, feel free to email me. I'll be checking them at least once a day, and I'd be glad to help you. Like I said, I'll be really, really bored the next week. The only assignment I'm going to give you over April break is please take a picture of something that you cooked, you personally, not something that your parents cooked or your sibling cooked or an aunt cooked or anything like that. I want something that you cooked, just so I can make sure that you're being active in some way. I don't care if it's burned chicken ramen, even though if you do somehow manage to burn chicken ramen, you're very talented, all the way up to some kind of, 3-course meal that you made for your family. I want to see a picture of something that you cooked over April break. That is your assignment, and I will see everybody. Well, I won't. You'll see me Wednesday after we get back. All right? Have a great week. I also decided to quickly make a Bugsy, stop licking yourself. What was I thinking?